Hello guys, and welcome back to another Tweaker Man video. So in this video, this is my thoughts on how my upgraded and fully changed Cambridge Audio Azur 540p Phono preamp sounds. Now let's just run through the things that we've done to upgrade this Phono preamp before we start talking about how different the sound has improved, or should I say how much the sound quality has improved. So I first started upgrading the power supply filter caps with the standard audio note electrolytic capacitors. I also added on the power supply side a audio note Kaiser capacitor. Now when it comes to the main part of the board there with the signal side of it, I used audio note Soryu capacitors. So when it comes to the main part of the board where the signal comes through, I had added 4 of these Jansen Audio Compact MKT capacitors, and I also added 2 JFX capacitors that are made by JB Caps, and I also replaced some of the very small film capacitors on there. There's 10 altogether, so I replaced 6 of those with the Mullery M150 film capacitors that are really warm sounding. So I ordered the Hi-Fi switching power supply, and it never worked with this because this needs an AC power supply and that was a DC, and I've used that on my Now TV box now. So I've swapped out from the Musical Fidelity X10D, the little pinky SE, and I'm using it on the Phono preamp now, and this has made a big improvement to the sound as well. So what I'd like to say before I start is I've had now 3 Cambridge Audio Phono preamps, first starting with the Solo, then moving on to the CP1, and then moving on to the Azur 540p. And in their standard form, in my personal opinion, and this is subjective because we all have different hearing and different opinions, I think that the Azur 540p sounded the best to my ears. Okay, so so after doing some of the upgrades, so I upgraded the power supply and the main board without the Mullery M150 capacitors. I thought the detail of the music had improved lots compared to what it was in its standard form. And that was the biggest part of the upgrade to my ears than what it was in its standard form. I also thought that the bass was a lot fuller. Bass slam, bam. It was so much fuller than it was at its standard form. I thought the mid-range hadn't changed that much until I added the Mullery M150 film caps to it. I always think that the mid-range is the heart of the music. So you have your highs and your lows, and the mid-range is what really captures the focus of music. And once I added the Mullery M150 capacitors, it just gave it so much warmth to the music. And the reason I added those is because I didn't think that the 540p had enough warmth. Now the solo, in my opinion, is too warm for my taste. Now, as we know, again, is we've all got different tastes, and that's the thing with audio, is just because one person thinks something sounds good doesn't mean the other person does. So adding that warmth from the Mallory capacitors really brought this Phono preamp into focus for me. And also the timing of this, just a cycle of your LP going round, the timing has become very nice. When you listen to high-end audio, I've listened to endless high-end systems, and I always pick up on the timing, the cycle, the way the music just flows has become so much better since I've done the upgrade. So I haven't upgraded the op amps in there yet. I'm still looking at op amps. There's so many varieties. Sparkos makes some good ones, and there's a few that are on the Hi-Fi Collective called D Amplifier, I think they're called. And I haven't decided what to do with this yet. To be totally fair with you, I am really happy with how this sounds already. And I know op amps, I haven't really experienced many op amps yet. And the op amps that are actually in here at the moment, if you Google them, they tend to be very low noise. And a lot of people like these op amps already. And I'm feeling that they are sounding very good as they are. But I haven't experimented with op amps yet, which I'd like to do. But the problem with a lot of the discrete op amps is they get quite expensive. And if you buy some discrete op amps and you don't like them, once you've soldered them in and everything, they can be quite expensive, and you would have to resell them to buy another set. Now the normal op amps are anything from £1 to say £10 each, which is reasonable to just buy a couple of those, pop them in. If you don't like them, you can take them out and try another set. But with the discrete ones, they're quite a lot more money, and you've got to do a lot of you've got to spend a lot more money. So moving on to the little Pinky SE that I added on, I instantly noticed a lowering of the noise floor. And before I put this on, because I'd done the upgrades and detail had become really crisp and precise, I was picking up a lot more background noise from LPs. The clicks and the pops were becoming a lot more prominent. As soon as I added this to it from the standard switching power supply that they supply, I noticed that background noise became a lot more quieter. Now it's very interesting because some people just say power supply upgrades to snake oil. It beggars belief. I just don't know what these people are listening at, or listening to, I should say. So overall, I would say that the bass has really improved in this. The bass slam, boom, it's really improved over the standard 540p, and detail is absolutely wonderful. But because I've added the Mallory M150 caps, I've kept the warmth of vinyl. So I do believe this is probably the best Phono preamp I've owned to date after all the upgrades. And I'm just pleased with the way the whole system has come out, especially with adding the the little Pinky SE, which I need to order another one for the musical fidelity. So I've taken that out of the system for the minute, because I have other things going on as well, and I need to give them a month or so before I can purchase another one of those. So I hope you like this video. I would say I'm not the best at reviewing products. I know exactly what I'm hearing, but being dyslexic, I'm not that great at putting it down on paper. In my head, I know exactly what I'm going to say, but it doesn't always come out well. But you can see, look, it's a great match. I'm superb at the matching things up. It's a great match with the turntable. So the front with the walnut veneer, and I've given it the stripy zebra wood effect, and with the silent bass on it. These silent basses are superb. They really absorb any unwanted vibration or from the unit, anything that's coming through the electrics or anything. It just absorbs it, and it pulls it away from the equipment. What I'm trying to say is it absorbs anything. Now, if you haven't tried one of these silent basses, you've got to try one. Okay, so under here, this is the one I added to the Sony Blu-ray player, which I'm going to do my thoughts on as well, because this has improved immensely as from it did in its standard form. So lastly, I need to have a think about the op amps and whether I change them, because the problem is with a lot of these discrete op amps is they're a lot taller than your standard op amp. And what you tend to do is you put this this other part of like a socket in first. So you solder a socket in, and then your op amps then just fit into those sockets. And then you can then just swap out different op amps and see what it sounds like. So my final thoughts is, I think that this is probably the best Phono preamp I've owned to date after the upgrades, not before the upgrades. No, the Graham Slee that I had before was far better than this before the upgrades. Now I'd say this is on par or slightly better than the Graham Slee. So I think that's it for this video. So thanks for watching another Tweaker Man video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to press that notification bell so you're notified each time I upload a new video. And thank you for watching, guys.